Thank you for your interest in the City of St. Petersburg's 18th Avenue South Complete Street Study. This video will provide a short overview of the two design concept alternatives that are being considered within the study area. Recognizing the limitations of street space in cities is an important step to improving the transportation network. A lane reallocation project, sometimes known as a road diet, reallocates space on overbuilt roadways to more equitably accommodate everyone traveling on the street. Based on the priorities indicated through the study's survey responses, and in order to more equitably share the space along 18th Avenue, the street design should prioritize people walking, then people taking the bus, then people biking, and finally people driving. Right-sizing the road can improve safety with a slower and more comfortable street for all users, create an opportunity to improve accessibility, and maintain capacity with adequate space for all modes of travel. This graphical rendering is a representation of the typical characteristics found on an existing block along 18th Avenue South from 34th Street to 16th Street. 18th Avenue South is a 4-lane, undivided roadway with 2 lanes for travel in each direction. However, current and future projected traffic volumes warrant just a single lane in each direction. The excess capacity available is a leading factor in the high rates of speeding by drivers along the corridor. Each alternative under consideration in this study will lower speeds to 25 miles per hour, remove a single lane in each direction to right-size the street for its current and future needs, and allocate the remainder of the right-of-way to infrastructure to support people walking, biking, and taking transit safely. Due to the high transit usage on the street today, 18th Avenue South has been identified by the city as a transit priority corridor. Overly frequent bus stops contribute to the inefficiencies in bus service. Turn lanes and the distance between signalized intersections create long crossing distances for pedestrians and few safe crossing opportunities. Unmarked crossings and unprotected mid-block crossings offer no physical protection for people crossing. Conflicts at the edge of the road, including parking in the right-of-way and wide driveways, create conflict points between people driving, walking, and biking. Poor sidewalk conditions, speeding drivers, and no dedicated bikeway provide no option for a safe place to ride a bike. The first design concept alternative being considered involves eliminating the outside lane and adding a one-way separated bike lane on each side of the street. This alternative is referred to as a place for bicyclists. Bike lanes would be physically separated from the car travel lanes. Separation can include tubular markers, raised curbs, movable planters, and more, as well as a combination of these strategies. This separation would continue through the signalized intersections. At bus stops, bike lanes can be raised to sidewalk level, or a bus boarding island can be provided. The approach would depend on the adjacent land uses and available right-of-way. Conflict areas, such as driveways and minor street intersections, can be emphasized with pavement markings such as green paint. The second design concept alternative focuses on providing a shared use path on the north side of 18th Avenue South. Like Alternative 1, Alternative 2 removes a travel lane in each direction, but also includes design strategies that engage and demand drivers' attention and make it physically hard to speed. Alternative 2 is referred to as shared and safe community space. A shared use path on the north side of 18th Avenue South can be used by people walking and biking in both directions. Artwork at intersections and along the corridor can reinforce the street grid to improve safety, reflect the local community, and create a sense of place. Transit stops can be relocated to new bulb outs. These create a chicaning movement from people driving, shifting traffic back and forth to slow vehicle speeds. Chicaning also creates opportunities for on-street parking, bioswales, or parklets. Mid-block crosswalks with pedestrian refuge space can be planned in conjunction with transit stops and important destinations. The existing right-of-way in both alternatives would be reallocated to provide better infrastructure for people walking, riding their bicycle, and taking the bus. Consistent with the project vision developed based on responses to the initial online survey, both alternatives primarily fit within the existing curb-to-curb street space, minimizing impacts to adjacent homes and businesses. Alternative 1 maintains the current curb and gutter location, eliminating one lane in each direction and using the former outside lanes for a bike lane with a physical buffer. In residential areas, the bike lane will rise to sidewalk level to serve people boarding the bus. For busier bus stops, transit boarding islands will be added with some spot widening if necessary. The two vehicle lanes will be 10 feet wide and the one-way bike lanes are 6 feet wide with a 4 feet buffer. The sidewalk can be widened and repaved where possible with a varying buffer from the road. Alternative 2 begins with narrowing the street by eliminating the northern lane. The remaining 3 lanes will be converted into 2 through lanes that shift back and forth with strategically located median islands to gain drivers' attention and slow speeding vehicles. The reclaimed space from the former lane on the north side provides space for a 10 to 12 foot shared use path for people walking and biking. The south side has remaining space for sidewalk widening and/or reconstruction where feasible, while maintaining a buffer from the road. The city would like to know which alternative you would prefer to see built. Please take a few minutes to learn more about the project and provide feedback on your preferred alternative by viewing the additional materials and online survey using the links provided on the city's Complete Streets website. The online survey will close September 30th. If you have any questions about the project or concepts provided in this presentation, please contact Cheryl Stacks at the City of St. Petersburg.